Hello everyone, my name is Alper. I'm a mechanical engineering student at Bilkent University. Today I'm going to present my lab experiment from Physics 101 course. Name of my experiment is calculating the gravitational acceleration of Earth from pendulums. Firstly, let me give you some preliminary knowledge about pendulums. A pendulum is a system with a mass attached to a rope, and the other end of the rope is connected to a fixed point. When the mass is directly under the fixed point, the mass is at the equilibrium point. If you move the mass to the side and let go of it, it starts to swing with the gravitational force. After it passed the equilibrium point, gravity acts as an opposite force and slows down the mass. The mass stops at the peak and goes down again in the other direction. This movement is called an oscillation. The period of the pendulum can be found by this formula. In this formula, T is period of oscillation, L is the length of the rope, and the G is the gravitational acceleration of Earth. If we measure the duration of one oscillation and the length of the rope, we can calculate the gravitational acceleration of Earth. In this calculation, we deal with relatively small angles. Because of that, we can assume sine of theta is equal to just theta. Even though difference between sine theta and theta is very small, still it makes a deviation on the result. The deviation gets smaller as theta approaches the zero. Because of that, I carry out the experiment with several theta values. As you can see, I'm measuring the angle of release. In this setup, the theta value is equal to 15 degrees. The duration of 10 oscillations is 17.9 seconds. The reason that I measured 10 oscillations rather than 1 was to reduce the measurement error I made while measuring the time. In the next setup, the release angle is adjusted to 10 degrees. At 10 degrees, the duration of 10 oscillations is 17.71 seconds. In the last setup, the release angle is adjusted to 5 degrees. At the 5 degrees, the duration of 10 oscillations is 17.55 seconds. So, we successfully measured the duration of 10 oscillations. We can divide them by 10 and find the duration of one oscillation. For 15 degrees, one oscillation is 1.79 seconds. For 10 degrees, it is 1.771 seconds. And for 5 degrees, it is 1.755 seconds. The length of the rope is same at all setups and equal to 75 centimeters. The mass I used is 40 grams, but it doesn't affect the result. By putting the values to the equation, we can determine the gravitational acceleration of Earth. You can see the results I found at the top. The reference value for G is 9.81. As you can notice, the closest one is 5 degrees. This proves my earlier statement that deviation gets smaller as theta approaches to zero. So, what do we learn today? We learned about pendulums and how they work. We also learned how to calculate their periods from length of the rope and gravitational acceleration, and the other way around. This is the end of my video presentation. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe.